Okay, I'm going to try my best to record this video. Hopefully there's not a ton of noise outside because they're doing work. Comes in a simple box. They say it's frustration-free packaging, which basically just means no packaging. And you get a fat booklet that gives you all the gobbledygook and the jargon. It looks like it's got dongle mode and then 2 Bluetooth profiles that you can use, so that's kind of neat. You can switch between those. I'm going to go ahead and use dongle, of course, for my quick initial testing, and it tells you just how to turn it on and off with an on and off switch. Click the button to change modes, and you've got DPI button and your forward and back buttons, which would be programmable in certain programs. Okay, and it comes with rechargeable battery inside, and you go ahead and pull this out. You got your little dongle here. It is very very light. Oh my god, it like weighs literally nothing. It literally weighs nothing compared to like this, which weighs a little bit more than this, but then this doesn't even have the battery in it like it normally would. This takes a single AA. If I put a AA in here, it adds a little slight bit more heft to it. And this is a Logitech G604 wireless mouse. This thing, this kind of almost resembles the MX Master, I feel, in its general design, which is not terrible because I like Logitech mice myself. So, and then we've got a USB cable and a decent length too. Interesting. Normally they just give you tiny, dumpy little cables for charging. And it makes me wonder: does this have a wired mode? Can you actually use it? Oh, the length of this cable is not terrible. I would say this is like, let me fold it over double here real quick. Yeah, I would say this is easily a 3 foot plus cable, so that's nice. Let me see here. Let me plug it in real quick. I think this is just for charging it, and they just give you a decent cable because, you know, you're going to be using it at a desk with a computer, but let's find out if it has a wired mode. That'd be dope. It'd be a surprise. None of these types of cheap wireless products have a wired mode of any kind. They just charge only. Alright, well, it's showing here a charge level is what it looks like, which is nice and convenient right on the side. You got 4 markers, so you can do 25% increments of battery, which is not terrible. And if I click it to the on position, I got nothing. Yeah, that's because it's definitely not wired capable, which is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it, but it looks like you can obviously charge it while you're using it, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the dongle here, and then it immediately works. And got a lower DPI. This feels akin to like 800. That's probably second level is like 12, then 16, then like, oh, is there like 5 DPI levels? Huh. I'll have to look at the manual here to find out. To change the DPI, it doesn't tell me what the DPI levels are, unless it's in text or a form here and it's not listed nice and clearly. Yeah, it doesn't tell me what the DPI levels actually are, so I'll have to take a closer look at the information on the product page. But the overall feeling of this mouse isn't terrible. It's definitely on the larger side, and I have a slightly more average larger hand, and it does fit nice and firmly and comfortably in my hand. The glide of it is not terrible. It doesn't look like I have to peel anything, do I? No, it doesn't look like there's any plastics, thin plastic film for me to peel off of the bottom of the feet here. So it's just got a naturally slightly abrasive, like scratchy feel to the way it rubs across my mat here, which isn't the worst. It gives you a little bit of resistance if you need it, but be mindful that it'll feel like that until you've rubbed it enough that it probably smooths out. And it might just be these edges, and they just need to be rounded off more by moving the mouse around on a surface a lot. The clickers, wow, the clickers are a lot like this other mouse I got that was part of a keyboard combo. These things do not make noise. They're very soft and tactile bump feeling, but there's no clickety-clickety-click sound. It's just like a soft little bump feel, which is, I guess, in some cases is very nice. You might be somebody who wants a quieter mouse that doesn't make a whole lot of noise compared to, you know, something like this. This is only making noise because I'm slapping my fingers against it. Yeah, it makes virtually no noise at all, which is kind of nice. I like that. As for how long the battery lasts, I have no idea. It's got what feels like one, 2, 3, 4, 5. It feels like it's got 6 DPI levels, which is incredible to me. The slowest one is not the slowest I've ever felt, but it's pretty good. It's not as low as something like 400, but I think it's maybe 600. Anywhere from 600 to 800. The second one might be more like, yeah, like a 800 to 1,000, and then it just kind of incrementally goes up from there. The third DPI level feels roughly in line with what I normally use, which is around 1200, 12 to 1600. So that's good. Yeah, I think the lowest level is 800 probably, and then it goes up to like 1,000 or 1,200, and the third one is 1,600. I think those are your initial 3 DPIs based on how they feel. So that's not bad. And then, yeah, it's lightweight. It's got Bluetooth options. It's got whatever this side scroll wheel is for. It's a thumb wheel, which I guess you can just use in place of the regular scroll, which I guess while you're gaming, if you say have weapon swap in a first-person shooter set to scroll wheel, instead of going to hit the scroll wheel here, you could just hit the scroll wheel here. You could also probably like set what this is by doing something with it and programming it in whatever video games you want to use, or another program that's for multitasking purposes. So that's not terrible. What else do we have here? The lights don't light up, it looks like, unless you have it plugged in and you're charging it. But there might be a way to press a button here and check the charge level. Oh, I see. It's green solid is fully charged, blue solid is charging in progress, and then red flashing is low battery. And until then, it looks like the light doesn't turn on unless you're doing one of those 3 things. Like turning it on, it tells you initial level. Plugging it in, it tells you it's charging, and then if it's low battery. So, oh well. I'd say all in all, this is not a terrible mouse. It feels pretty decent. I kind of like the soft click that it has for comfort and less noise. It's lightweight, which is not terrible, especially if you're somebody who gets mouse fatigue really easily from using a mouse. It has what feels like 5 to 6 DPI levels built into it, which is pretty nice. And comes with this little side scroll wheel, which can become very useful at times if you want to take advantage of it in some way or another. And it's got dongle mode and then 2 different Bluetooth profiles, which is also pretty dope. Yeah, I would say this is not a terrible mouse for cheap. Feels pretty good. Long term, how well it holds up, who knows? But this is just my initial impressions.